Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fly girls, kinksters, and kinksterettes. How you doing? It's the one and only Drip Over Radio Show, an alternative means to psychedelic masturbation, live and direct from this place here. In case you can't see it, S.STREET Media. It says live and direct here from Queens, Brooklyn location. How's everyone doing? Happy Sinful Sundays. And everything else that comes with it. You know, we're a little bit late tonight, but we still got a show to put on for you. Thank you for tuning in, seeing what's going on, what we're about. We are an alternative means of psychedelic masturbation. And, yeah, that is what we do on here. So we cater to people's vices and their other things that they want to keep hidden from the public. And, you know, I get it, but there's a world for you. I'm trying to tell you, there's a whole world, underground world for you. I'm your host, Will B.K., of course. You might see me around a few places, in the industry, a few places, but, you know, host and creator of Trip Over Radio Show. And, of course, it's almost like the show is like a whore. You never know who's going to be in the bed with me next. But once again, on the other side of the pillow, this wild and crazy man, he is king of the underground scene, Mr. Hardy Brooklyn.
Thank you, Will BK.
How you doing, sir?
Doing amazing.
Of course.
Beautiful 80-degree day today.
Yeah, man.
Spend it smoking in the park.
What kind of stuff do you smoke? I know you probably smoke the really best of the best stuff.
Depends. I smoke a lot of different strains to provide different medicinal things. Like I deal with my anxiety a little bit, I deal with my arthritis a little bit, I deal with my brain trauma, I deal with my stupidity.
So it's a different strain for each one of those different... Okay.
And whether it's indoor or outdoor makes a big difference on how effective it is.
Yeah. Coolioness. Shoot, you need to teach us a class on what's the best strain based on...
For arthritis?
For your situation. Like, what's a good strain for your arthritis, for example?
A Humboldt Reserve Outdoor.
Oh, what the hell does that mean? Okay. You know. Well, usually, he's got all the freaking secrets and stuff going on and stuff like that. So he's always the best person to ask. Always go to Hardy Brooklyn NYC, and he'll let you know and stuff like that. You know, I'm not really having a great day.
You didn't take enough Molly?
No, I haven't. No, it's not that. I'm just, you know, not really having a great day. And you know, I'm gonna vent a little bit. I'm gonna vent a little bit. I don't do a lot of venting on here, but I'm gonna vent a little bit tonight because I'm a little pissed off. I'm pissed off. Mm-hmm. And what's really interesting, of course I'm going to try to keep the names out to protect the innocent, you know, one of those kind of things, you know, situations and shit like that. But what's really crazy that I'm learning, or maybe I've already learned these things, but when it just is so clear, when it's so in your face and present and so clear, that's when it really, that's when you can really expound on it. And you know, what's interesting is that one of the things is I feel what I don't like about sometimes what some things that people do is if people know that you're connected with something. If you know someone has something like a product or a project, and you usually are involved with that product or project or that, you know, whatever that thing is, and because you have a disagreement on something, they decide to say, well, you know what, to hurt you, I'm not doing it. You know, and it's seems like that's fucked up to me.
It's childish.
It's certainly fucked up to me. Fuck a lot. I'm always doing the political, you know, song and dance. But no, it's fucked up.
It's a fucked up mentality to spite you by spiting themselves.
You know, and I don't play that shit. I don't think that shit is cool. And especially, if and I'm going through this before where people want to do it last minute. You know, some last minute shit when you to be like, yo, I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? And that shit really, I don't appreciate shit like that because I don't do that shit. I try not, or maybe, well, let me go back. Let me go back. I try not to do that shit because it's too, it's so spiteful. It's like I give you medicine at a certain time. And now, because I disagree with you, I'm not going to give you your medicine. I'm going to put it right here. So now I can't reach it, and I'm straining. I'm on the floor, and I got to try to reach to grab it. And
is this person like 2 that you're dealing with? Is this person like 2 years old?
No.
So it's not a baby.
No, it's just a really ugly thing to me, like stuff like that. And I don't like when situations where, and I'm like, I'm just venting on a personal no in particular. And I hate being in situations where friends are in the middle of situations or encounters or stuff like that. And people are oh shit. Now I'm usually got great words for stuff like that. I'm just pissed off. It's just not a good fucking day. Not a good fucking day. It's not a good fucking day. But we live, we learn, we move on. We live, learn, and move on. That's my venting for now. I need a drink after this, so I'm probably gonna go to the spot and then drink. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, let's go to some fucking trippy news. Dun, 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 trippy fucking news. Okay. Now I know you said you're not gonna be taking well, you took it. You took the vaccine.
I am fully vaxxed.
How does that feel? How did you feel when you took it?
I felt good because now I get to do things and go places. And I've been with people that have been pretty sick and not gotten it. I've been in the room with people that were pretty sick.
Oh, shit.
And it's had its perks. I mean, I went to a 420 party where it was free samples, unlimited if you had a Vax card. And so it was like free joints because I was vaccinated all night long.
Yeah. Well, you're one of well, I have not got the vaccine yet. I don't know if I'm going to have the vaccine. Right now,
You don't want to become sterile?
I don't want to become sterile. I don't want to die.
You're not going to die.
I don't want to unnecessarily just pass out for no fucking reason, or anything like that, or develop any blood clots, or all these other different.
But you're not a woman that's 35 years old.
Huh?
The blood clots was only in women like 35 to 45 years old.
Well, shit. Well, you think men can't get clots? We could get clots too.
No.
Well, maybe there hasn't been no cases of.
Just because there's been no cases.
Shoot. Any reported cases. But the reason why I fucking brought that up is because there was a story in Iowa. 77 inmates at Iowa prison given overdoses of the Pfizer vaccine. And apparently the 2 nurses, this was at Iowa State Penitentiary, 77 inmates that were incarcerated was administered the incorrect dose by the nurses at the facility. Of course, and they were placed on administrative leave, and the Iowa Department of Corrections has temporarily paused administering the vaccine to how that could have happened and stuff like that. So
they measured it wrong. It could just a little measurement thing.
I don't know. I mean, it could have been a measurement. I think probably they got more in the injection they were supposed to have gotten. That's probably the only way because
they suck it out of that little jar. They go.
Theirs probably is. Shoot, I mean, from what I understand, but some of the inmates are experiencing, the typical side effects from the vaccine, such as body aches and fever,
like the flu.
Yeah, but the thing about it, once again, is that people are already, especially like people are already skeptical of taking this fucking vaccine, and it still is giving off the impression that people are in prisons or people in certain neighborhoods are going to be the guinea pigs for the side effects. So, well, not so much the side effects, but the results and these reported outside ailments that are normal outside the body aches and the fever and stuff like that. So why should they feel comfortable?
Well, because a large percentage of, like, let's say take New York City, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
We have 80% of the population has been vaccinated that's eligible.
Mm-hmm.
So that means, think about it, that means that over 6 million people have taken that vaccine in New York.
Mm. Well, okay, but what's the?
So it's nobody's being a guinea pig. The whole city's there. It's not like we're picking and choosing people.
But a lot of that, but when you're gonna but a lot of that percentile in New York are not from the urban community. We're not a good part of that 80% that has been vaccinated.
Correct, because you've been led with misinformation over time and been treated poorly in the past.
Well, that's synonymous here with the prison, because the thing about it is that that what's going to be predicted is that there are going to be outbreaks of the virus, and it is going to continue in correctional facilities, even though much of society has already been given the shot, already have on the first or the second shot, but like stories like these definitely doesn't make them feel more comfortable.
And I completely agree. The amount of negative energy that anti-vaxxers and the amount of false information that's out there that's getting put out to the public, it's outrageous. So you have a campaign that has a lot of money behind it, spreading false information, which makes those people more leery to take the vaccine. Because there's more false information going on about this vaccine than there should be. Because think about it, the only people that have experienced blood clots have been women from the ages of like 35 to 45 or some small gap. And that's, and the outcome of this vaccine, we're not okay with women getting blood clots, but we're okay with women taking birth control, where they have a much higher rate of getting blood clots or having deadly side effects than from the vaccine. But we're okay with giving women birth control because it suits the man.
Mm.
But nobody says that. That didn't even come out until recently. I mean, we're okay giving women all of these other pills that they're way more likely to get blood clots, way more likely to have way more dangerous complications because they suit the man, the male party. They're birth control related, they're morning after pills, they're those kinds of things, but they're good for the man, so who cares that the risk is 10 times higher than the vaccine?
Well,
and then let's pull the vaccine and not pull those other things.
It's almost like Secret, like Strong Enough for a Man but made for a woman. It's almost like that philosophy, so to speak. Well, since you've taken it, what are some? Are men and women both feeling the same type of effects?
Everybody feels different, depending on the person. So I had certain side effects to it. So when I got the Johnson & Johnson, the one and done, and I basically slept for 12 hours the next day. That was my side effect. And then nothing. That was it. I woke up in the morning, I had breakfast, I packed up to go to a party, I went over to my tablet to check the bus time, and my face fell down on the tablet, and I slept until basically 12 hours later, and I woke up and I was like the Energizer Buddy, like nothing had ever happened. I went out partying that night, and that was it. Now, other people have had sore arms for a couple of days. Other people have been nauseous. Other people have lost their sense of taste. I
thought the sense of taste was one of the symptoms if you had COVID.
No, it could be. I mean, people lose their sense of taste sometimes when they get the flu vaccine. So it's a standard side effect to a flu vaccine. You know, but I'm also somebody that, I mean, I am not like really good with going to the doctor. So my last vaccine was probably in high school. So it probably hit me a lot harder because I hadn't taken a vaccine in so long. But most of my friends that got the J&J, that get the flu vaccine every year, they had almost no side effects. It was just like done.
Exactly. Oh well.
And now there's no wait to get in. You just walk in and get it.
There's no. What do you mean? There's no wait? You just walk in and get it.
Because they've vaccinated such a high percentage of the population, there's no more lines.
Oh, wow.
Because think about it, they haven't closed any facilities at all. They're not closing any facilities until we get into the 90% of vaccination. So now anybody could just walk up. So there's even less discrimination walking into the place. They're begging you to come in, they're bored.
Oh, wow. That's interesting because
I mean,
where would you say we're at national? Do you have an idea of where we are nationally in terms of shit?
20.
Nationally?
Yeah.
Nah, it's got to be more than that. It's got to be more than that.
It's not much more than that.
Yeah. I wouldn't know because I really don't care. I don't plan on taking shit myself.
But you also have to realize that if we've got, let's say, 80% of New York City vaccinated, that 20% that's left, what percentage of the 20% has also already had it? And has antibodies. So the chance of spreading it in New York is so low. Our biggest concern, and even me for like all the parties we do now, it's people outside of New York. It's people that went to Florida and are going to bring it back or bring a strain back and fuck all the people that don't have a vaccine. You know, and then now we're a little new epicenter.
Yeah, shit, man. So another mayor race is going to be coming up soon. You got my paper? My paper again.
Your paper about rainbow?
Yeah, well, I'm not on that yet. I'm just say I wanted to just show them. We can put them all out there.
Oh, I remember. I thought you gave it to me to memorize.
Well, yeah, you memorize them when you put it back there.
Because I did that already.
Oh, well, look at that. You're super smart. Well, then you pretty much already knew about the shit already. But anyway, mayor race.
I never knew it was called that though.
What? Well, we'll get to that. Don't we're going to get to that. But you know that soon we're going to be selecting candidates or a candidate for mayor. Do you plan on voting?
Yes.
Okay. Since I'm now in Jersey, I can't be concerned with the voting in New York.
I'm not even going to look till like we get near voting time because these people are going to come and go like water.
Yeah, but one of the candidates who's pretty popular is Scott Stringer, who's currently the comptroller of New York, and he actually is going to be planning to run for mayor. But he's in a fucking sex scandal. Apparently,
everybody's in a sex scandal. We need to get rid of this word "sex scandal" and change it to annoyance.
Well, apparently, this particular case is he's being accused of sexual assault, which is rape.
That's like old school.
Well, what do you mean that's like old school? What's old school about it?
Like making an effort.
Huh?
Most people nowadays are just like lazy about their rape.
I don't know. I don't know what that means. You ain't heard that from me. You heard me say what? So I don't know. I don't know.
They don't use the assault side of it. They use alcohol. They use subspace. They use drugs.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that depending on when it happened, depending on who it is, a lot of times, men or women are apprehensive of talking about it because they might not be believed, or maybe they were drugged and don't remember, or don't even know.
Yep.
So I mean, there's a lot of times, or sometimes, same thing with children. If they get molested, they don't say anything because the same thing. Who's going to believe them, or whatever the circumstances, or you don't want to get somebody in trouble or stuff like that. I always think victims always have a voice too.
Victims do, but we still live in a society where the female victim is made to be at fault. Oh,
that is true. But that is true. So the thing about it is, like I said, it's his word against her word, thing like that, and it's.
And if he did it, more will come out. Because once they break the ice, the river opens up.
Because right there, that shit's already fucked up his old shit already. You can't, he's no sense of him even running.
No, he'll still run. He's got a good chance.
I mean, he's going to still want to run.
I don't think that's going to affect whether he gets elected or not.
Shit, yeah, it absolutely could. Sure, that shit could.
Really, what happened to the whole Cuomo scandal?
I mean, the thing about there's a difference between you're already the governor, you're already in office, and someone who's trying to come into office. And the thing about it is that he already knows how to play this,
And the guy in Florida, what does he got? He's
talking about Matt Gaetz.
98% favorability rating in his district.
No, well, yeah, but that's his district. However,
that's why he's going to get reelected.
I don't think Matt Gaetz is. I don't think Matt Gaetz is
because he's going to jail.
Because there's already a big trash of evidence on him. There's a whole lot. There's already receipts. There's already his man Greenberg, whatever the fuck his name is. He's already pleading guilty to a shit. So now he's already been indicted. So he's already cooperating with the Department of Justice already. He's already cooperating. So but
he sits on the Department of Justice Oversight Committee.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. They're trying to get him off it. He does.
It's not with DOJ.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, man. I ain't trying to tell me.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, look that up. I'll tell you, no, it ain't. No, with the DOJ. But the thing about it is that because Greenberg's charges, his charges could land him at least 20 years in jail. So in order to shave some of that off, he's going to have to cooperate and get his man and them's and I'm going to have to rack. I know he is. So let him keep playing around. Homeboy needs to just go ahead and just, well, I guess, I don't know. I ain't never did it. He's probably going to take it all the way to the wire with I don't know what you're talking about, whatever. And then, he'll probably make a deal and resign. But I don't think he's going to get, he's definitely caught out there. Shoot, all from what they're saying, all it just really takes is an allegation. All it has to take is one of the victims have to say, "I've had sex with him," and as an underage person, or there has to be a pattern of his payments thing because he was making a lot of payments through Venmo to his homeboy, to Greenberg, and Greenberg was the front man making all the arrangements and whatnot. So, look, I think he's gonna be shit out of luck. I think they're gonna get him. Shoot, your man Giuliani too. He's got rolled up on the beds up in his. Telling you, just all your Republican buddies, Hardy.
They're not my Republican buddies.
All these motherfuckers is getting caught out there. Tell you, man, you can't have good sex or hot sex without it, being taken or being caught up in some scandal shit and stuff like that. She was like the sister who was a news anchor. Was that Florida? Let me just double check that. I think it was Florida. Hang on a second. Let me just take a quick look. I think it was Florida. Hang on. I think it was Florida. She was a news anchor for the station, and for some Las Vegas. And let me see what channel it was. News anchor. This news anchor on Fox 5 Las Vegas. She was arrested and found naked and passed out in her car. Her name was Fevin Paglorgis. And so she told the cops she doesn't remember how she got into the location was at. So she's in her car. She's in some location. She doesn't know where she is. She's in there naked, and she was and she was passed out drunk. But the people loved her so much, they wanted her to come back on there, but she had to go on air and apologize and pay the fine. She paid a fine, and I guess in order to get her gig back, she had to go on the air and look stupid and apologize for that. So so I'm telling you, man, you just never know. You just never know. You know what I'm saying? It's just this has really just been a hard month. Just a fucked up month, man. Shit, everybody fucking died. Black Rob's gone. DMX is gone. His funeral was a few days ago up in Harlem, and that was pretty support. A lot of people went to that. I heard the line was almost around the block. Shout out to Black Rob, Bad Boy Records. Shout out to my homegirl Kia Jeffries. Put it in your mouth. She hit me up and said, and she had said, yo, well, I was there. Shit was crazy. She didn't get to get in. She signed the book because there were so many people out there. But a lot of Rough Riders was out there. It wasn't nowhere near DMX's shit, but still, nevertheless, a lot of people was out there. So yeah, it's just really crazy, man. It's just a really crazy time. New York is getting ready to lift its, if it hasn't already, I think it is about to lift a lot of the restrictions in New York City since the cases have really went down. I think they're saying it's a safer time for people to be out there, to be out and about. Do be able to do restaurants. I know they're opening bars up and other recreational places up until midnight.
And then July 1st we're open fully, baby.
Oh, July 1st. Okay. So yeah. So I mean that's good news. So just in time for.
He is on the Judiciary Committee. That oversees.
I'm trying to tell. He's gonna try to tell me. Yeah, I know that, but is that the one that oversees?
Yep, they oversee the DOJ.
Oh, okay, well he's getting fucked up, so that's even so even better. So ain't much he can do. I mean, because the dude that runs the DOJ, he don't play, from what I understand. So people, I'm telling you, people just don't know how to get their freak on properly. I mean, if you get caught out there, Matt Gates, your whole shit is sloppy, and you deserve to go to jail. You deserve to go to jail if your game is sloppy and shit like that. So, good for his ass. Anyway, also other trippy news going on tonight. For all of my Kinksters and Kinksterettes out there, definitely, since I said, according to Hardy, good 80% of I don't know what that's nationally?
No, that's New York City.
Oh, New York City. 80% of New Yorkers, according to Hardy. You'll have to look that up to make sure it's accurate. But 80%. And according to what Hardy just read, July 1st, they're going to be opening up more, shops and things for, recreation and stuff like that. So those things are going to be getting ready to open up. So that means the Kinksters are going to be coming back out. All right. And people are still want their dose. They want their vaccine of freakism. So one of the things that we're going to be talking about today is rainbow kisses. And I know some people are like, well, what a rainbow kiss is.
Tasty.
They're of course they're tasty, or people will think it has something to do with some kind of gay pride thing, something like that. When that's not really what it is, and it is a little unusual, but you definitely have to have a fetish. It's definitely something that comes with a fetish or a kink when you do
respect for the woman
or the man, or depending on what aspect or the receiver or giver of that you want to be. Do you want to touch on what actually a rainbow kiss is, Hardy? Because you love the color, so I'll let you kind of lead us into that.
I love the color.
Your color. You always got some fucking colors going on.
Right, but Rainbow Kisses is not purple. It's red.
Well, I know that.
It's going down and eating out while the blood is flowing.
Yeah, so Rainbow Kiss means, there actually is two aspects of it. One is that one, where just going down on a woman that's having their period, and then, you kissing, you kiss. Or there's another variable of that. It's when you're still going down on a woman while she's having a menstrual, and then she gives you a blowjob, and then y'all kind of exchange the fluid. So I guess it's a combination of one mouth that has blood in it and one mouth that got jizz in it, and then y'all make out. So then that's where the rainbow actually comes into effect. So now you've got these two different fluids flowing through your mouth and stuff like that. And then for some people it is a turn on. It's a rush. It's a rush. It's euphoric. In your opinion, Hardy B, why is it so? Why do you think it's so appealing? For some people, why do you think it's so appealing to certain people?
I think it's appealing to certain people because it shows a connection, and it shows that they love that person no matter what. And some people like that fluid exchange.
Mm-hmm. And I guess one of the things is that, the world just reacts differently to different things that different people like, and certain things and this has been going on for since the beginning of time, and kinks have a unique way of connecting souls together and fantasies together, and it's just that I can just imagine because I guess they have similar tastes, I guess, whether it's salty or whether it's sweet. I wouldn't know. Hardy, you're more on that than I would be, and people don't understand it, but it's also risky. It's also definitely risky. That's not like one of those that's not one of those low risking type of encounters.
Well, you usually do that with a fluid bound partner, not a non-fluid bound partner.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Well, for people who not are hip to their terminology.
Fluid bound means we are okay exchanging fluids with each other, which means we don't use protection. To protect for fluids, we're using protection for birth control. Which means that we're going to exchange saliva, which means we're going to go down on each other without a condom or a dental dam.
Yeah, but those kind of things that you want to do it with people that that you can't really do that with people you really don't know, because the thing about it. Well, no, I'm not saying that you can't, but what I'm saying is the thing about it is that you have to know, because it still comes down to knowing a person's history. According to the article, if you, especially when you're messing with blood. You still could, if you don't know what the situation is, you can be getting HIV, you can get hepatitis B, you can get hepatitis C, or any of those type.
But that's what being fluid bound means, that you're going to tell each other what your test results are. Yeah,
but that's just easy as saying I'm fine. I ain't got nothing. I mean that if that's what if you mean like that. But the thing about it is that's what I'm saying is, if you're going to do something like that, it is best to know, at least be familiar with that person.
So how often do you get tested?
For what?
STDs.
I don't know. A few months ago. Right?
How often? How many times a year?
Like once, twice. No more than two. No more than two. Especially if I'm continuing from gig to gig. Or I might use that and. But the thing about it is, I'm very one of those careful people. I just don't go raw dogging. I have a steady, partner. So I don't go raw dogging or go ahead and going ahead and getting up with other people.
So just on a side note, there are 8.3 million New York City residents eligible to get vaccinated. 6.6 million people have been vaccinated, which actually comes to 79.5%, not 80%.
Okay. Side note, if you're going back to the conversation that we had earlier, we're talking about vaccination. But since we're on this though, in terms of that, so
So you should be getting tested quarterly.
You should be getting tested. I mean, every 3 months. For those who don't understand what quarterly is, so
because you don't know what your partner's doing. Well, you think you do. You assume you do.
Right. Yeah, and according to information, keeping that information from partners mean that you aren't giving them the space to give informed consent, which is something that no GGG exploratory kinkster should ever do. So you definitely have to hit people to, with your statuses, and stuff like that.
I mean, that's why some of these parties that have a lot of newbies and first timers that come to them, that's why you have to bring your latest STD test.
Right.
And your Vax card.
I agree. I certainly agree. Well, yeah, I agree. Well, see, I think a lot of them are just using the little temperature meter thing. I don't think a lot of these parties are taking those type of precautions fully. We're still using the gentleman system, so to speak.
No, the bigger. I've gone to 2 parties that actually looked up everybody in the little gizmo computer.
In the gizmo computer? What do you mean the gizmo?
Like, there's a website you can go to see if the person's vaccinated.
Oh, wow.
Or you could scan a barcode if you have if you get and you could just go to that same website and print out your passport.
Oh, wow. Heavy. Shoot. See,
little card here. You just go to it. It's like it's called It's the same place you get the pass to go to the state parks.
Oh, just wow. But
I'm going to an event in Colorado, and they require me to have. Their state doesn't have a passport system. They're supposed to be using the New York State system. So everybody there actually has the same piece of paper I do.
Okay. Now, still, as we're still talking about rainbow kids, now we talked about the health, a little bit about the health situation. Now, if you are into rainbow kissing, or exchanging that type of fluid,
think about how healthy that is.
Yeah, well,
good stuff.
No, but how do you get your partner to actually try it? If, let's say, everyone is healthy and whatnot, how do you suggest people actually? How do you try to convince them to?
Just go down on them, easy.
I don't think it's that simple, Hardy. Why do you always make it seem like it's that simple? Maybe
just ask.
It's not that. I don't think it's that simple. I mean, it's.
I don't know. I've never had a problem with a partner. They usually say, "Oh, do you mind that I have my period?" And they assume it. I guess white chicks are different. Maybe I don't know.
Well, a lot of it is cultural. A lot of it's cultural.
Yeah,
I mean, my experience there's certain groups. I mean, there are black fetish groups throughout the country, and there are certain swing groups and stuff like that. But a lot of them don't really promote heavy those type of kink or fetish type of interactions. A lot like that. But I guess it comes down to if it's your partner, and that goes with the type of relationship that you have, and if you and your partner routinely talk about sex and fantasies, then according to the article, then bridging the topic as it is then bringing up the topic should be easy as struggling up in bed and bringing up something else new. So it's just a matter of let's try something different. Some men still don't like going down on their women when they're going through their menstrual. I don't necessarily have a problem with it. It's not like I've done before. I've done that before. It definitely is cool. Now the other part of it, I can't do that. I can't. I can do the blood in the mouth.
Not the semen.
I can't do that.
What about another man's semen?
I can't do. I don't want to do mine. Nobody else's. I don't want I don't want to touch it. I don't want to be near it. I mean, I've been to swing parties before and stuff like that. And if I'm doing my thing with Shorty, and then it just so happens this guy wants to share the same chick I'm messing with, it's like just if you do whatever you're doing, you stay on that side. I'm on this side, and if we're gonna switch, and we go around that way. So I don't, you.
So you don't do any. So you're not into any like DP then.
I'm trying to have I ever done it?
Then your junk's gonna touch.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Well, no. One is up top and one from the bottom. So when they converge, they usually, on touching. Now there might be.
You got some skanky little teeny balls then if you're not doing that.
Yeah. Then you might get ball flap, like little plap. Now that might but that's occupational hazard when you're at swing parties and stuff like that, and so so you might get accidental ball flap or whatnot, sometimes, but when you go to parties like that, usually don't even have it in your mind that
so do you like getting penetrated while you're doing a DP?
I do not, and I will not. So sorry. But don't be shy. According to this, and the last part of this article is that people don't be shy with trying something new or stuff like that, especially with rainbow kisses and stuff like that. But it's hard to see. You're much more adventurous than I am, or probably a lot of people I know. So
you got to try everything at least 3 times.
Why 3 times?
Because you're gonna first time you're definitely not gonna get it right. Mm-hmm. The second time you might get it right, but you might make the wrong mistake. And the third time you got to be really sure you don't like it.
Right. Okay. Is there anything that you actually tried that you said, I don't want to do it no more, or I've never tried, or have you done your 3?
There have been a couple of things that I don't like.
You want to know, Hardy? Or I don't. Oh,
anything that involves pain.
Oh, okay. Well,
make it super simple.
No, I don't want to know. I know I don't want to know. Shoot, but yeah, but are there any different? Are there still? Have you done everything that you always wanted to do sexually? Have you done just about every possible fantasy thing you could have done?
I think so.
I don't know. I always wanted to fuck on a ledge. Not allegedly, on a ledge, like a building ledge. That's kind of having one leg over the side of a building and you smashing and you don't move anywhere. Just that feeling of dangling.
That's going to be really good pressure.
That's just really dangling, and all the person will see is a building maybe way across eye level from where they're at, or just feeling just that, oh shit, that that drop. I mean, that would be kind of cool, doing it from a high viewpoint. That would be definitely kind of cool and stuff like that. I'm telling ya, Okay. And also, speaking of pornography.
So you like doing it in public?
Oh, I never minded it. I've done it in plenty of places. Car. Of course, car.
How about the middle of the intersection?
No, I'm not going there. Unless it's like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and hardly no cars coming in, maybe I might do it. I've done it. I've got a blowjob in a store once. That was kind of cool. At 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was at one of those fruit markets. There was
blowjob while she's like the banana up your ass.
No. She blew me. No. The dude was out. There was a dude that was out front by the fruit, but he was looking out. And the guy that was behind the register went in the back to get something. And she did it right there. I think I had sweats or something, but she pulled it and she gave me some head right there. So I was like, oh shit. But it was just perfect. It's just, she just did it just a few licks,
and then he was done.
And then no, just a few licks, and then she pulled it up. And as soon as she pulled my pants back up, he just came walking back, and I was like, wow, because I was sitting on the ice cream when my butt was getting cold. I was sitting on the ice cream
That was so you would take longer to come?
No, I just think it was just convenient because I was sitting back and she didn't have to bend down too far. So I was like, oh shit, So that was my thing. But there's other places, but that's not for another story, another show. Okay, and also shout out to homegirl Cinnamon Love. I'm gonna try to get her on the show. Are you familiar with Cinnamon Love?
No.
Cinnamon Love is a porn star. Actually lives here in Brooklyn. Do you know how to reach her?
We're in Queens.
Oh my God! I'm gonna try to get her. Oh man. Oh okay. Oh no, I ain't telling y'all none. Anyway, adult film star launches a collective to support BIPOC sex workers. Cinnamon Love, like I said, she's somewhat. I think she's retired-ish. Person. Said lives here in Brooklyn. Actually, I seen her one time. She's a real refined, beautiful woman. When I saw her last, she had gray hair. Hair was gray, like a sexy gray, and she was pushing. I think it might have been her nephew, or no, it might have been a grandson. No, it was a son. Cause he was in a carriage. I thought it was a grandson. It was a young, but you said a son, and it was Harlem. Oh. Okay. So I see. Okay. So it was her son, and I saw her pushing a carriage, and it was in Harlem. It was like on 125th. And I wanted to say something, but she was on the phone. And I was like, damn, I didn't want to interrupt her. And I think I got on the train. I got to get up the next stop. So I didn't have time to really converse with her. But
you should have just waited on the train.
I couldn't because I had to get off. I think I had to go to work or lunch. But she got on. She was on the platform with the marriage carriage. On the carriage. On the carriage, she had the carriage, and I was gonna say something, and I just couldn't.
Your heart wasn't in it.
Oh, yes, it was. I damn sure wanted to speak because I damn sure knew who it was.
You're late all the time, so another time being late doesn't mean anything.
Well, that's work. This
is anyway, work.
No, shoot, no, that ain't like that work. But anyway, she's actually launched a collective in efforts to supporting the safety and sustainability of sex workers, as they, I guess, are legalized. Like to be called. Well, it's legalized, but it still doesn't mean that they don't have certain rights. And this is, but no. This is actually for movies, like porn workers, because as you know, we're probably the least marketed. People of color, we're the least marketed. There's still racism within the confines of doing movies, and that racism is also translating to parts. It's also in money. There's still not an equal pay scale between white people and people of color to do the same type of scenes. And according to the article, and the same thing in terms of the racism, it's still the closer you are to white, the more gigs you're going to be offered, and stuff like that. And a man, Motor Monster, said that, and I know he had a lawsuit going that I didn't really want to talk about too much, but he has also said that there has been, or there is racism also, in the last couple of
it's
decades.
Definitely. Yeah, the conversations I had with him about it, it's pretty intense.
Yeah, so
I would not be able to put up with it. I would definitely slip up and get beat up.
Shoot. Yeah, so and I think over the last, according to the article, like especially over the last couple of decades, there's this one of the things during scenes that's coming out more and more is it being thrown around, slurs over scenes, the nigger, the boy, and stuff like that. And for some, I guess for the people being called that, the people calling them that, this, of course, that turn on, the dominating factor in it, I don't know. But anyway, this her collective is supposed to help in a few ways.
I mean, think about how long it took women to get where they are in the porn scene, and not just be considered a piece of meat in a slut and completely disposable.
Yep.
And it's still sort of like that for them. I mean, this is going to take years to overcome.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And she's saying that Cinnamon Love is saying the organization is actually going to help black sex workers by offering support and services to better ensure their safety and industry opportunities. And some of these services is going to include mutual aid program, a micro grant program that gives at least $6,500. Well, there was a program that gave out $6,500 last year. A stress management support group, and members will also have the options in taking part in free weekly restorative yoga classes and stuff like that. So all these things apparently are necessary to ensure some type of peace of mind and stability in their careers.
And it's for everybody should be doing those things. I mean, I'm mental health certified for New York's for internationally, and my refresher classes. When we look at the people that actually do the yoga and the mindfulness for themselves, it doesn't matter whether you're black, brown, pink, yellow, orange, green. When you do mindfulness and you give yourself time to recover, you do live a happier life. You do have a healthier life. I mean, your stress level goes down significantly. And everybody should try to do that, and those resources are available.
Well, yeah, I do agree. But the thing about it is that there's a difference between when you're the majority of the service that's getting serviced. So I mean, and then you have another culture, or you have another race, or another group that's not part of that majority.
I agree.
You know, so we're even getting less. So I did.
And we need to do better at providing those services to start with people that are at high risk, and we need to do more community reach out. We need to make the programs more available. We need to make sure that when people go to the programs, they're not chastised for going to the programs. And that's a lot of the problem in some of these communities where you should be strong. You shouldn't go and get that help.
Okay. When you say high risk, who do you mean are high risk in terms of who we need to target? So
GLBT community.
Okay.
The black community.
Are we talking about in the world of adult entertainment? We're talking about porn, because that's what we're
yeah. Even if you focus on those people are going to be at higher risk for abuse. Those people are going to be at higher risk to be taken advantage of. Those people are going to be at higher risk of committing suicide. Those people need that more than the white male that's in the scene.
Also, I mean, I also hope that it will also provide. Well, it does say that it definitely will. I guess try to get them more opportunities to be in more scenes and stuff like that. So hopefully, definitely, I hope that works. But why do you still think that now? Can you touch on what the racial aspect of it is, in terms of why do you believe that, I guess now, because like according to the article, that there's been more racism now than any other time during porn and stuff like that?
Because there's a certain segment of society that's going to get off on the racism side, and since it's also come more to the highlight in the forefront with the pandemic, more people are looking at porn than ever before. And when we look at people that are looking at it, and we look at the people that are actually consuming it, those people are like the guy that wants to get off because the little white chick, but not his daughter, got banged by the dirty black guy. I mean, that's a big thing for a lot of these, how do I put it? Trumpers. I mean, there's a lot of, that where they can't satisfy their wife for whatever reason it is. I mean, there's a lot of this cockhold fantasy, and a lot of it was brought to light because of the pandemic. people's inability to think on their own and be creative in their relationships.
Well, I don't necessarily.
And it being made cool.
I don't.
I mean, there's huge parts of this country where it's really cool to see how many guys can fuck your wife.
Well, yeah, but I don't necessarily buy that. The pandemic it's only been really here since for a year or a little over a year. So from like I said, from what I read from the article, from what Cinnamon Love says, from Mo and other Mia Khalifa, all of them said they're talking about a systematic a racist systematic following or practice that's been going on, especially over the last, according to her, at least the last couple of decades. So there has to be a more
It's been pushed to everybody to see it now.
So I guess it is just coming out in the opportunities. Or you still don't. It's almost like how hip hop music was programmed at one time, where it was only a niche, it was only a specialty show to have it hip hop only at this particular time of night, 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, especially on Friday nights, Saturday nights, or after 2 in the morning. Shout out to Awesome 2, Teddy Ted, and Special K. Special K, yeah. When they, did hip hop shows and stuff like that. So it's almost like the same thing with porn. That it still seems like black pornography is still almost structured that same way. You still don't see a lot of black entertainers in certain type of scenes.
No, you don't. Because they look down at it. They look at it as it's still ingrained in our racist society. It's part of being American.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it is pretty bad overseas too.
You think so?
I mean, it's not that much better from what Mo said.
Well, what do you think is the difference between? Well, I guess I can understand it because abroad they look at nudity, sexuality a little bit different than they do here. It's more of an art form-ish type of.
But there's also a lot of Jungle Man scenes that they get asked to do and things like that.
So yeah, so it's definitely just something just the American.
But the whole industry is so degrading just towards everybody in it.
Yeah, so hopefully, maybe with some help from the station owner, maybe I can help me if I can secure her. We'll see if we can get Cinnamon Love to come in.
No masturbating on that show.
Shit. I probably won't, but still, this is the thought.
No, just on the train on the way home.
Shoot. Oh, cute self. And a shout out to Vanessa Smiles. Also was on the porn scene, a businesswoman and getting ready to start her own network of pornography and stuff like that, and scouting their own actors and actresses and shooting movies and being the production owner and stuff like that. So she's at least reaching back. And helping the next generation of stars coming out. Same thing with Cinnamon Love. Same thing with Mo. So I mean, it's and what you don't understand, the thing about the black experience is something that y'all really don't do. Not you per se. Well, that includes you, but but we're a generation where we have no other choice but to reach the next generation back because we know how difficult it was for us. So now we have to bring them with us to the next level. Whites, I'm not saying you per se, but your color. Yours are more passed down, more of a generation. You still have that generation wealth, that generation thing where it's unheard of not give it to the next family member. A lot of us don't have it like that, so we have no other choice but to bring somebody else with this, and hopefully they'll do it to their generation. That's the only way how we get to, stay connected and stay on with it. That is how we do, man. Do you have any events coming up, Hardy, that you want to plug in, or that you're going to any parties and stuff like that?
There's the Horned Ball in Prospect Park on Saturday.
The what?
The Horned Ball.
The Horned Ball.
Like horns on your head?
Mm-hmm, like a Viking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or a weird animal, like a beast.
Oh, okay, like one of those wilde beasts.
Yeah, that's like from 4 to 10 in Prospect Park.
From 4
Next
to 10
Saturday.
A or PM? From 4 PM to 4...
To 10 p.m., yeah.
Oh, okay. And is it... what goes on at this Horned Ball?
There'll probably be DJs, costumes, drugs.
Where? In Prospect Park?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, probably by the main lawn, the meadow.
Oh, wow.
There'll probably be like a couple hundred people there.
Is that open to the public, or
Yep.
is it? Wow.
If you want to get a wristband, you can buy something. You can Google it online, or you can buy it when you get there. But that just shows that you made a donation to the art project. There'll be a bunch of art projects going on there. It's mostly like a trans DJ art event.
Oh, wow. How much do they usually go for?
The donations?
Yeah.
Most people give $10.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
And that just gives you like one of those Lance Armstrong bracelets.
Oh, wow. Nice. Okay. And when is that?
Saturday.
Oh, okay. So definitely come check that out. Is there a website where people can go on and see what that is?
No. But you can look on Facebook on Horned Ball, I guess.
Horned Ball. Okay. Well, that should definitely be something special. I might check that out. All right. Well, anyway, it's coming up on the 11 o'clock hour, and we are getting ready to get on out here.
And I got an early class in the morning.
Yeah, so Hardy Brooklyn, why don't you tell people where they can find you at?
You can find me at Hardy, Hardy, Brooklyn, just like the borough, BROOKLYN.NYC, on the web and on Instagram.
Coolio on this, and I'm your boy Will B K. You can catch me on Instagram on Trip Over Radio Show, TRIPOVERADIO. Trip Over Radio Show? Yeah, Trip Over Radio Show on Instagram. You can find me WILLBEEKAY on Instagram. William Kirksey on Facebook. Also, you can make sure that you tune into S.STREET Media. You go on the bio, you can find Trip Over Radio Show there on the YouTube channel that is associated with the station. And as well, don't just come on here for me, but you also other shows on here that might be to your liking, and new shows coming out almost every week. And just tune in and go onto the website, and you will get to see who is there. And you will catch us here next week, Trip Over Radio Show at 9 p.m.-ish to 11 here on the station. And you can definitely find us. We're going ready to sign out of here. It is the one and only Trip Over Radio Show, an alternative means of psychedelic masturbation. Have a good night, y'all.
Good night.